working on 2.5 hours sleep, and so I might cry. So forgive me. Okay. And I had to write it down because I would be a mess if I didn't have something to read off. But hi, and welcome everybody. I wanted to give a heartfelt welcome to each and every one of you as we gather to honor the extraordinary life of our beloved dad, Hughs Tranchi. Your presence here today, alongside our family, is deeply appreciated as we navigate the profound sorrow and heartbreak of saying goodbye to him. Our mom passed away 14 years ago, so he was our only surviving parent left. So this one hurts a lot. But I know my dad, and he and his incredible spirit would not want us here to be sad. So we're going to be here to celebrate him and all the magic, charisma, and light and life that is our father. To say that I am who I am today because of my father is an absolute understatement. At my core, I am completely my father's daughter. He was my biggest cheerleader, and I his biggest fan. I know they say that we can't choose our parents, but I would choose my parents again and again in every single lifetime. Truly, to know my dad was to love my dad. The words you always hear about him is how charming he was and how charismatic. And how he could basically woo anybody off their feet, which he did. He was truly the light. But he also taught me that all these things didn't matter if you didn't have the biggest heart at the base of all these charms. Absolutely nothing else matters in the world if the heart isn't big. I think about him and what strength and internal power he must have possessed to escape with his family, ranging in ages from 19 to 10 months old, in the middle of the night to escape Vietnam and come to America for a better life and start over from complete scratch. He literally came from being the son of one of the wealthiest in Vietnam to being a janitor in a hospital, just to give us a better life. And no matter what, my father, even when he was dealt so many cards in his life, he always held his head high no matter how hard the battle. And he fought, and he persevered and worked through it all. And he always, always carried the biggest smile in the room. I never saw him waver. I never saw him break down. And through it all, he lived with so much passion and so much life. His heart, his grit, his determination, courage to be exceptional, to be extraordinary, to persevere no matter what the odds are. And of course, his charismatic charm, his striking, rugged handsomeness, and his zest for life were infectious, and he brought such pure light and joy to everyone around him. He always knew when my dad was in the room, and I always felt like the luckiest little girl in the world to look up and know that he was my dad. I wanted to end my speech with one of my favorite childhood memories. Growing up as immigrants in the small suburbs of the San Fernando Valley, we were one of the few Asians in our town. But the holiday that made me feel the most proud of being unique and Vietnamese was the Moon Festival. It celebrated the fall during the fullest moon. It felt like it was our own special holiday that nobody else knew about, and that only we knew of it, and that only we could share as a family with the moon. We would gather under the stars in our backyard, sitting for hours under the balmy night sky in Granada Hills, drinking tea, eating mooncakes. There's something about being under the great expanse of the night sky that softened and soothingly hushed my ordinarily really noisy large family. And it made me feel as if we were one. My favorite part of the night, though, was when the spotlight of the moon fell upon my father as he told the tale of the legend behind this magical night. We all gathered around my dad, and if I was lucky, obviously I'm fighting off so many brothers and sisters, I would be the one sitting next to him. English was his second language, but Vietnamese was his poetic tongue. The tone of his voice was so beautiful and powerful that it seemed to cocoon us and protect us. The legend he told was the same every year. It was about the never-ending love between two soulmates and how one lover was banished to the moon and the other one left on the earth. And every year on this night, when the moon is at its brightest, we gather to light the lanterns to hopefully guide the two lovers back to one another. It was pure romanticism, and so purely my dad. In the months before my father's passing, I knew that his time was coming, as he was physically looking frail, and I could see it in his eyes. But last month, on February 11th, my sisters and I came to pick him up from the hospital from yet another extended stay in the hospital. And somehow he looked absolutely so handsome and so radiant. I thought, oh my God, he looks so healthy. Maybe he has more time to live with us. But when he passed away on March 14th, 2024, and peacefully at home, surrounded by his children who love him so much, I realize now that that radiance I saw on that day in February was because he had come to peace with the upcoming passage, and that all along, my father was the lover left back on earth, and my mom, who departed 14 years ago, would now be reunited with her, the lover on the moon. And now they're both in the heavens, the sky, the universe, anywhere they want to be. And they're able to watch over us and guide us and love us even more powerfully than when they were in this physical realm. Hand in hand, back on the moon together, the lovers. I love you so much, Dad. I'm just so thankful for you, for Mom, and pretty much I've spent my entire life giving back to my parents for all their sacrifices and their love and their support. And I don't think I could ever have enough lifetimes to thank them for it, but I will do my best. So I thank you guys for being here and sharing in our love for our Father. And it means absolutely everything to our broken hearts. So like I said, my father doesn't want us to be sad. He's in such a better, happier place. And I love you guys.